right, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite, and we are at it again. And if you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
What up? What's going on, everybody? We are here to bring you practical solutions that you can apply easily, naturally, and automatically
in your everyday life, so you can tap into your unlimited potential.
Yes,
and rise to the highest version of yourself.
Yes, there you go. Highest version. All right. Awesome. So what's going on, everybody? We know it's late, but we wanted to drop in real quick because we wanted to give you some tips to really help in building a healthy relationship. Okay. These are going to be some quick tips that we are going to give to you because we know that even though you may not be in a relationship right now, and even though there are some of you all who are in relationships, so we want to give you some really good tips, some healthy tips to really sustain your relationship and help build a healthy relationship.
Facts.
All right. Awesome. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. Okay. Let's go.
Right. And as you come into the room, just go ahead and give us that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We definitely invite you to subscribe. Yes. Go ahead and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified, hopefully, every time that we go live. But definitely give us that thumbs up because it does help the algorithm to let YouTube know that you like the video.
Yes.
And just help to keep it going around and around, right?
Yes, 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 indeed. Welcome. We're so glad to see y'all. Serena and Dee, we love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Love those readings that you get, by the way. If y'all don't know about Serena's readings, definitely check out. Hopefully she'll put the link or something in the chat. All right? But let's get into it, all right? Boom. So, things to know in relationships, okay? And we're just going to break it down for you real quick. We're not going to hold y'all too long this evening. First things first is that you must understand or know that you need to be together for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Okay? Don't just go into a relationship just because. And actually, just get right down to the meat and potatoes of it. Here are a few reasons of the wrong reasons to get into a relationship. Okay? And I'm going to cover the first two, and my baby's going to cover the next two because one of us, well, actually both of us, fell victim to one of these reasons, and we're going to talk about it. Okay? So, some of the wrong reasons to get into a relationship is that because you were pressured by your friends and family. Somebody said that, oh, you're not getting married yet. You know, you're getting up in age. Are you planning on having any babies anytime soon?
You already know you're already 30 and your biological clock is ticking. You better go get somebody.
So, that's one of the wrong reasons to get into a relationship. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Serena. Y'all follow Serena. She does some good stuff. All right. Now, the next one, which is a bad reason to get into a relationship, is that because you have the feeling like you're a loser because you were single and settling for the first person that came along. Okay? Wow. Now, I fell for one of those too. Let's see if one of y'all can come in and see if Chris fell for number one or if he fell for number two. All right? But what's the next two, baby?
So the next one, this is a biggie right here. Being together for image. The image, right? What it looks like. You know, because the relationship look good on paper. Oh, he's a lawyer. Oh, she's a doctor, right? You know, or maybe they just look good in photos, which is crazy, right? Not because the two people actually admired each other. Not because it's a genuine love or a genuine connection, but just because it looks good on paper. That is crazy. The last one, being young and naive and hopelessly in love and thinking that love would solve everything.
All you need is love.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. Listen, if y'all could guess which one got me, go on and put it. So we got number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. See if y'all could guess which one got me and see if you can guess what got my baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, I know because of the setup, there's probably like a 20-second lag. So, for the sake of time, we're just gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, for those of y'all who don't know our story, yes, I was in a marriage for almost 10 years, almost went on to 11, but we cut it before it actually got to that 11 mark. And I actually got into that marriage because of the second reason, which was because I felt like a loser because I was single. And then I went ahead and attached myself to the first person who was willing to be with me. Okay? Because before then I had gotten rejected by some other females and things of that nature. And so at that point I was like, man, I don't even know if I should be doing this dating thing. And then here come my future ex-wife. Okay? D said 2 and 4. Yep. Yeah, you got it.
You got it.
You got it. All right. So yeah, so I fell victim to number 2. And I'll let you talk about yours.
I fell victim to number 4. And it's because I was traumatized. I had my childhood trauma. And I was young. I was naive. I was a hopeless romantic. And I just think that love was going to solve all of my problems. Every last one.
Yep.
Okay, so that was me. And if you guys see yourself in any of those, feel free to drop it in the chat. You know, if you can, if you resonate with one of those that got you in your earlier life or whatnot.
Yeah. So yeah, but at bottom line, if you're going into a relationship, make sure you go into it for the right reason. That you admire this person that you want to be with. You understand that sex is not always going to be in the picture. Right. So that's not one of your motives for actually being with that person. So just keep those things in mind. If you want to have a good standing, long relationship, make sure that you're in it for the right reasons.
Facts.
All right. Now, the next tip to give you as far as going into a relationship, you got this one, sweetheart?
Yes, I got all of this.
All right.
All right. So, guys, we got to have realistic expectations about relationship and romance. Okay. Yes. Now, this is a pretty interesting quote. There is this young lady that we follow on Instagram, and she had this quote up. Let me tell you her name so y'all could go follow her.
Yes.
Because we got to give credit.
Life coach something.
You got to give credit to where credit is due, right? And her name is BMO Angel. Sorry.
You know what? We're going to repost it on our Instagram. We're going to repost it because we can't say.
I'm messing this up.
After this live, we're going to repost it, so y'all need to check her out. She's really inspirational young lady. She does her own tarot readings as well.
Big up to her.
Definitely check her out.
But I know how to do it now. It's BMO Angels _life coaching on Instagram. And she put this quote up today. It reads a little something like this, right? Some people reject you because your love doesn't feel like abuse. Y'all see that? Let me read it again. Some people reject you because your love doesn't feel like abuse. It's not you. It's just their history.
Yep. So you have to be realistic with yourself when it comes to something like this. And understanding, if you haven't seen our video about signs and symptoms of trauma.
Oh, please do.
Like, these are some red flags that you definitely do not want to ignore. After this live, we'll put the video somewhere up in here so that you all can go back and refer to it. But it's called Signs and Symptoms of Trauma. And when you notice these things, this can really set you up so that you don't go in there blind, bird boxing, thinking that love is going to cure it all. But when you see that this person has signs and symptoms of trauma, and if it hadn't been dealt with, you need to let them deal with that before you actually get into a relationship.
Right. And the next point that we got here, right? This one is a little bit, if you want, you might think it's harsh, right? But we're going to read the whole thing.
It's realistic.
It's realistic, and we're going to read the whole thing through, not just the beginning, right? So it says here, happily ever after doesn't exist. Huh? You mean to tell me I'm not going to get my Cinderella? Okay. Now, it says here, every day you wake up and decide to love your partner and your life. It's a decision that you make every day. Not sometimes, every day. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? Some days, it's a struggle. And some days you feel like the luckiest person in the goddamn world. And I can tell you that this is true. I can attest to this. This is a fact.
Yes.
Okay? Some days I wake up and let me tell you, I feel like I'm in heaven, but I'm on earth. Mm-hmm. The days when my baby do foot soaks, go down there and make my feet look like I'm like 7 because it's so nice and smooth. Mm-hmm. Okay, breakfast, nice, beautifully prepared breakfast. Mm-hmm. Mows the lawn, you know, and then because he got OCD, so he'll just go through and just revamp the whole house, and you know, it's just some days are just beautiful, and some days it's like, wow, really, babe. You know, like my baby went and he ordered one. I'm not going to say what the thing is. Petty. He ordered one of something that we like. And he know we both like it. So he got one. And man, I had to go sit down and
I'm like, we going to share.
I'm like, baby, how you just going to get one? And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what he did. My whole life just flashed before me. So, you know, that's as dramatic as it really gets, you know. Nothing like really major. But just little things, man. I know I get on my baby nerves.
Oh, yeah.
I get on his nerves all the damn time.
No.
But he loves me. I know my baby loves me.
Baby she is perfect.
No, I'm not. You see, this is what he do.
Like even her poo smells like roses.
You know what? You're not roses. You're so bad.
But no, but realistic, yeah, it's like fat. Yeah. There are days when we can just be sitting on the couch and I'm just hugging her, and if I could, I would merge our bodies together. Yeah, this morning he was doing that. I was sleeping and he kept waking up saying, "Baby, I love you." There are times, and then there's some days when my baby would be like, "Oh, gosh, hold on, let me pull this up."
Use the right example.
But look, we ain't gonna let y'all open all of our business like that. Just know everything's not always sunshine and rainbows. Okay? So especially when the times, you know, she gotta correct me on some things that I'm not doing right.
Right.
Just know it's not always gonna be sunshine and rainbows. So just set yourself up for that right now. And it's going to help you out so much in the long run.
Right, exactly.
Okay? Now, this next thing that's really going to help you out in your relationship and having a healthy one is understanding that one of the most important factors is not so much communication, but respect.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of times you think that communication is the number one on the list. Mm-hmm. But you can communicate any old kind of way.
Yeah. Because you can have those one sentence, one phrase conversations. You're like, "Hey, baby, how your day was going today?" "It was fine." Mm-hmm. "Fine? Oh, okay. What do you want to eat for dinner?" Like, "Whatever you make."
It don't matter.
Like, that's communication.
Right.
But after a while, you know, resentment going to set in, and you're going to be like, fuck you, and we're going to be gone.
Right. And so there is no respect. Mm-hmm. So the number one thing would be respect. And then when you respect each other, then the communication becomes respectable.
Yes.
Right?
And you can really have a conversation and you can be open and be able to really dialogue with your partner, which goes into another thing that will definitely help out your relationship. And keep in mind that this requires you to have your emotions set aside.
Emotional intelligence
is going to be key with this next pointer, which is talking openly about everything, especially the stuff that hurts.
Yes, guys.
Okay? Especially the stuff that hurts. Because, you know, we're not all perfect. I'm not all perfect.
No.
And, you know, there are some things that... there are some things that we talk about with one another to help bring out our shortcomings.
Right.
Like, Leisha does it very well, and I do it very well as well.
Oh, baby, do it well.
As far as shining the light on our shortcomings. Okay? Now, if you're all in your feelings, you're going to feel some type of way, and then you're going to take the whole conversation left when it should have went right. But this will really help out your relationship because, for one, it shows your partner that you really do care about them, and you pretty much don't really, how they feel about it, it's not so much a big deal, but the thing that's really a big deal is seeing the evolution of your partner. Okay? So be open about everything, even the stuff that hurts.
Right, especially the stuff that hurts, because you don't want to bury that and let it fester and turn into something different after some time. Because we're going to get, that's another one we're going to get into. But just be very open. We have to learn to be open. And we have to learn to talk about stuff that's not always exciting and, you know, and happy-go-lucky, you know. We have to talk about the stuff that we need to improve so that together we can work more harmonic, right? We got some new people coming in here. Shah, welcome. Thank y'all. Bethany is in the house. Kitty Witty is in the house. She looks like she got a question. We're going to touch on these questions. We just want to get through the slide real quick because it's not a long one. So if you have any questions while we're going through the slide, please feel free to put it in the chat. And again, for you guys who are just coming in, just go ahead and give us that thumbs up. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Spiral Cosmica. Welcome. Thank you so much. She said we look beautiful. You're beautiful too. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Y'all so nice.
All right. So we're going to get into those questions right after we get through the slide. Once again, this one is quick and short, so we're going to get to these questions in just a moment. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the next topic or the next pointer to really help you out in having a healthy not a conversation.
It's all right. We help healthy relationship, healthy conversation.
Yes. So what's the next pointer, sweetheart?
All right. So the next one, a healthy relationship means two healthy individuals, guys.
Read that twice.
Two. We got to read this again. A healthy relationship, okay, means two healthy individuals. And we always know what relationship means. It's a relation to a ship. Okay. It's your relation to the ship that's going to take you someplace.
Right.
You're looking to go to a specific destination or you're traveling on a specific journey. You might not have a destination in mind, but you're on a journey and you're on this ship and it's taking you someplace. So you want to be on that ship with someone that's healthy. All right?
Yes. So once again, if you haven't seen our video about the signs and symptoms of trauma, you want to check that out, because if somebody is presenting any of these signs and symptoms of trauma, it's a good indication that they're not completely healthy. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. It just means that they have things that they need to work on, because you want them to be able to work on those things before they get into a relationship with you. Okay? Because, for example, with Leisha and I, like if Leisha had interfered with the marriage that I was going through, then I would not have learned the lessons that I needed to learn that propelled me into the point of becoming at least a healthy individual.
And he would have never trusted me.
Okay? So just keep that in mind. If somebody is showing signs and symptoms of being unhealthy, do yourself a favor and save yourself a headache.
Let them heal. Allow them that chance to heal. You'll be doing yourself a favor and you'll be doing them a favor.
Yep. Facts. All right. Now this next one, I can't remember. Did you go last time? I went last time. It's your turn.
My turn.
It's your turn. What's this next one?
So the next one is give each other space. Man, I got such a nice poem that I want to read for y'all, but I'm going to hold off. And I'm going to read it to the end, and it has to do with this space, okay? So give each other space. As you can see, the picture that we showed, or we're showing right now, you see how one is on one end of that pencil and the other one is on the other end? And between the space is where you find the balance.
Slow motion this side.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, you gotta give your partner some space. Okay. Yeah, we love being around each other and things of that nature, But absence makes the heart grow fonder, right?
It does.
And it brings a balance. It actually keeps that yearning, that longing for one another. So we can definitely agree on that one.
You have to. This is where you find a balance, when you give each other some space. Sometimes you need space. You need to, integrate. You need to think about things and stuff like that. So you do need space.
Now, one of the other things to definitely keep in mind when you're going through relationships, as far as building a healthy one, is that you have to remember that you and your partner will grow. Okay? And change in unexpected ways. It would behoove you to embrace that.
Right. As long as these changes are growth.
Yeah, we're talking about growth. We're not talking about stagnant.
No. These changes are growth. I'll just give you a small example. So let's say I'm a lavender flower. My baby is a daisy. Okay? And we are seedlings. So I'm a lavender seedling. He's a daisy seedling. Okay? So when we both start out, okay, he's a daisy. And I'm a lavender. And we're both growing. Okay? Yep. So the evolution that we're talking about in the relationship would be a change of growth. Okay? Yeah. A change that encompasses growth. Not necessarily chaos and drama, but one that looks like growth. And so you have to be able to embrace your growth so that you can embrace your partner's growth also. Right. Because we're not gonna stay little seedlings. Nope. Okay, we're gonna grow into, our trueness or our fullness. So a lavender flower is gonna grow into the lavender flower. It's gonna start off green, but eventually it's going to start having these purple pretty flowers. And the daisy is going to start out green, so we both start out green. But after a while, the daisies is going to start turning white, and it's going to start having those beautiful white petals around it. Right. So this is a growth that we're talking about, that we need to embrace each other's growth, healthy growth. Yes. So don't get it confused with no chaotic stuff now. That's not what we're talking about.
We ain't talking about that. All right. But in talking about some chaotic stuff, this one may throw you for a loop. But if you can do this as an adult, it will help your relationship out tremendously. Okay? And let's go ahead and let's talk about it. All right? One of the things that you need to get good at fighting. Uh-oh.
You said the F word.
What? Chris and Alicia, what the hell are you talking about? Get good at fighting? Listen to this quote. And these quotes were actually pulled from, gosh, I forgot where we pulled it from, but it's actually some interviews that were done on other couples about successful relationships. So these quotes that you're seeing on these screens that have been popping up are from people who are in successful relationships. But listen to this quote. The relationship is a living, breathing thing. Much like the body and muscles, it cannot get stronger without stress and challenge. You have to fight. You have to hash things out. Obstacles make the marriage.
And that's from Ryan.
Okay? So you have to understand that if you're in one of those relationships and you got a yes man, like, what the hell? Like, there's no challenges. You just, at that point, this is where the waters get murky because it's not flowing. There's nothing that's challenging that water from going downstream. Okay? And even if it is challenging from going downstream, the water just gave up, like, nope, I'm just going to be right here. Okay? So, like we said earlier, you got to come into a relationship with real expectations to understand that it's not going to always be sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you are going to disagree.
Right.
It is best to learn how to disagree.
Right, exactly. So learn how to be okay, with your partner having a different, how you want to say, perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They would receive the world a little different sometimes.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean that they're wrong or you're right or they're bad and you're good. No. It just means that this is how they are perceiving something through their lenses.
Yep.
At the particular time, whether it's a situation, a person, a circumstance. So it's not always going to be eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not always going to be eye to eye.
So learn how to disagree.
Yes.
Okay.
And most importantly, what's the next thing that we need to do for a healthy relationship?
Oh man, this is a big one. So you have to get good at forgiving. You have to be able to forgive. Because forgiveness helps your heart chakra to stay open.
Mm-hmm.
When you hold on to unforgiveness, you block your heart chakra. And this is when misery sets in.
Mm-hmm.
This is when unhappiness starts festering.
Yep.
And then once that unhappiness starts festering, it's easy for us to blame someone else. Right? But we always have to remember that our happiness is our own responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So when we hold on to unforgiveness, it's literally like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Because you're the one that's festering that energy in your heart space.
Mm-hmm.
So you must learn how to forgive.
Yes. All right. Now we are just about close to the end. And soon after these slides, we're going to go into the questions that are in here. And also open it up for anybody who would like to have a card reading if that is what you would like. But subscribe, turn on the bell if you haven't already. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like the information that's being shared thus far. And then let's go ahead and let's get back into it, okay? Because this next one, this is one of the things to definitely keep in mind when you're going through your relationships, to make sure that you really have a good, healthy one, because this one can be overlooked. Okay? Which is, understand that the little things add up to big things.
This is true.
Okay? Because if you look at these little blocks here, like this little yellow block could be like him opening the door, him making breakfast for you, him running water, paying bills. These little things, you may discount it as just a little thing. Oh, that's just normal. I mean, that's the stuff you're supposed to do for a relationship and things of that nature. But you can't discount it, okay?
Right.
Because those things are the building blocks of your life, the building blocks of your relationship.
Exactly. Right. So it's the little things that count. I mean, I do little things for my baby all the time.
Yes.
I'm his personal cheerleader,
Yep.
My baby is doing something and he's not sure. I'm all, baby, you could do this. You got this. You're the best at everything that you do. You could do everything better than everybody in this world. Like, boost the self-esteem and stuff like that. I mean, it's his heat. It's his passion in it. But I'm just here to help to offer that support.
Fan the flame.
Right. To keep it going, right?
Yep.
Just the little things. And it goes a long way. And it does help over time.
Right.
Just like things can fester over time, these little acts of kindness can build up and build up and build up, and they can create their own, energy signatures over time.
Right.
Right.
So very true. All right. And I think we got 2 more points after this. Yeah, 2 more points. And then we're going to get into the questions and card readings if anybody is requesting that. Okay. But the next one, what is the next one, sweetheart?
Yes, the next one, be practical and create relationship rules. Hey, this is where the logic comes in. Just be practical, because we know we have our little shenanigans. Everyone has their little ways that's annoying. Okay. We all know this. We all have something about ourselves that we know this is just how I am, but I know it's super annoying. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just have to respect each other, in wholeness and in fullness, like how we are.
Right.
All right. And make up your little rules, whatever you have. On Wednesdays, You know, I get to sit down and I get to maybe watch some Stargate and nobody bothers me. Or or on Fridays I get to go into the meditation room and I get to paint whatever I want to paint for 2 hours.
Right.
And they just know this. Oh, what is it, Friday? Oh, baby's in there painting.
That's
you know
what she's doing.
That's just what she's doing. That's just what she loves.
Oh, it's Saturday morning. Or she's out in the garden.
Right. She's like, let her be in the garden. Let her do what Hey, just set aside your different rules for your relationship. It's gonna look different for everyone. Okay.
Right.
If you work from home or if you have a business or just make those rules for your relationship to sustain it, so that it's kind of like a foundation.
Right.
For the relationship, so everybody knows what to expect.
Yes. And last but not least, this may be a little bit redundant, but we're just going to say it again, okay? Which is you need to learn to ride the waves. What do you mean, Chris and Alicia? What do you mean ride the waves? Well, if you know how waves work, they go up and they go down. They go up and they go down, okay? So it would behoove you to notice the patterns of when the wave is going up in your relationship, when things are just high and they're beautiful and you're just in love with each other, and if you could merge your physical bodies together, you would. And you need to notice the pattern of when you're getting down to the lows, to where you don't like this MNF, and if you want to be as far away as possible from this MNF, if you could, you need to understand these patterns.
This is true.
So that you can know, okay, we get to that high point. Let me go through. Let me enjoy all of this. Okay, we're getting down to this. How can I make this low point go a little bit faster, or something of that nature, so that you can enjoy all of it, but also understand this. You need to respect that high and that low, because all of that together creates a beautiful life.
Right.
All right. So yeah. So those are our little tips as far as some things that help you out in your relationship. If you're in one, these can be some things to really help get your relationship on a good foundation. Or if you're single and ready to mingle, these are some things to keep in mind when you go into your next relationship.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. So without that, let's go ahead and let's see what was going on in the comments, because I see those comments were actually going a little bit too fast for even me to see. So hold on a second, y'all. Let's get these comments pulled up here so we can see what is going on, because I know you said that somebody had a question early on.
I think that was Serena. She had a really good question, and then somebody said that they wanted to know the answer to that question also.
Talking about this one? Should I?
It was Serena that put the question in.
Okay.
Okay, here it goes. She said, I have a hard time with fighting as well. I absolutely hate fighting in a relationship. I get resentful. I need to learn how to disagree. Yeah. And yeah, it's just one of those things where you just have to talk to yourself. You know, when you feel that burning sensation or whatever it is that's coming up, it's just one of those things where you have to just learn how to catch yourself in the moment and take yourself away, give yourself that space so you can create that balance. Talk to yourself. Sometimes, listen, I talk to myself all the time. Alicia, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yep.
You already know that was just way out of alignment. Go sit yourself down in timeout. Go think about what you just did. You know you have no business doing and saying stuff like that. So you just have to really become the watcher of self. When those things come up, don't judge yourself. Okay, just don't try to judge yourself, because again, you're not the experience. You're the one that's having the experience, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think this one here, which Dee was talking about, she had a hard time with communicating and expressing her feelings. It was very difficult. Okay. Just speaking in general, for whenever I see the thing about expressing oneself and feeling like it's difficult, there is a perception that what you are expressing isn't important. Because if it were important, it would be easy for you to express. It would be like if somebody's house was on fire, it would not be hard for you to run down the street and tell Aunt Betty, hey, your house is on fire.
Get the hell out.
Okay? Versus if it's something that you feel is not important, then it's hard for you to say. And so that's something you definitely need to clear up with your throat chakra and understand that anything, the way that you feel is important, but also understand that how you act off of that emotion or that feeling of what you need to say is it's a separate thing. Because you can feel how you want to feel, but how you act off of it is something totally different. So just understand that everything that you have to say, everything that you think about is divine, and the whole world needs to know it.
And it's valid. How you feel is valid. I know sometimes when you communicate, depending on who you're communicating with, because of past communications, sometimes it can make it difficult for future and present communications.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we're communicating, we want to try not to put so much emphasis on the past.
Right.
But if you're not putting so much emphasis on past communications and basing present and future communications on what took place, but you still seeing a pattern that's arising, then it just means there's some healing that needs to take place.
Yeah. Case in point, give y'all a real life experience, right? In the previous marriage that I was in prior to Leisha, there was a point in a relationship where if I felt some type of discomfort or something of that nature, I would want to tell my then wife about it. But when I would tell her about it, it would get discounted and be like, oh, your pain and what you're feeling is nothing compared to what I'm going through. Have you given childbirth? You don't know what pain feels like, or things of that nature. And so after a while, instead of me actually expressing how I was feeling or what I was going through, I just kept it inside. I didn't let anybody else know. And moving forward into this relationship, something I didn't even realize until Alicia pointed it out was that I was still carrying on with that same behavior from that past relationship up until this one. Now, just understand that this wasn't something that was really putting a damper on a relationship, but when we brought it to light, it's like, okay, now I can breathe a little bit and I can actually say these things that are coming up when they actually come up. And believe me, if this is not something that you do on a regular basis, it's not easy starting out. Because I have to take deep breaths and understand, okay, this is a new thing. My baby loves me. I trust her with my life. So if there's something going on, I need to tell her.
And just keep that in mind. Like when we come out of previous relationships, some of these things will stay hidden, right? They don't always come to light. We will have certain coping mechanisms, right? Some of them might be healthy, some of them might be unhealthy, and we will bring that coping mechanism into our current relationship. So just like how he learned his coping mechanism to deal with his ex, he would keep that. Right? Because it's working and it's helping. And he would bring it into the new relationship. And he would continue with that, not knowing that this coping mechanism that I developed from that previous relationship is not necessary in this relationship. So we do that a lot. We bring a lot of coping mechanisms, and if you want to call it skills, because shit, it got to be a skill to keep you surviving in some of these relationships. We bring it into our present relationship, and it makes it a little chaotic because it's no longer necessary, right? So sometimes you just have to go through and do some home keeping, some sweeping out, and some clearing out of maybe coping techniques that we developed in the past relationship that's actually weighing down our present relationship. And we got to put on our big girl panties and big boy briefs and stuff to really be able to go in and assess and analyze that without being emotional about it. Right? That's just it's one of our experiences.
Oh, now this is an interesting one. This is from Kitty Witty.
Ooh, I like that's cute.
Kitty Witty. Her question is, should I reunite with my twin flame, or should I help him get over me? It's been years since we broke up, but he hasn't been able to let me go because he went up and got stuck.
He went up and got stuck. Okay, Kitty Witty, that is a very, 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 very good question, and I like that you asked that question.
I'm gonna let you say your piece, and I'm gonna say
I'm gonna go, then you go.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Kitty Witty,
yes.
you are such a brave soul. Okay. One thing that we are gonna encourage you to do, okay, because this is a big decision, right? Reuniting with your twin flame, or just moving on. This decision needs to be made by only you. Okay? I mean, we could tell you what to do, but that would not be the best thing for us to do. Okay? Reason being, we really don't know the dynamics of your relationship. We don't know the ins and outs. So it would be very irresponsible for us to tell you what to do.
Right.
Okay? So we can advise you how to make that decision, which is really going within. Okay? Doing some analyzing and seeing if this union is something that is feeding your greatest and highest good. Okay? Now this is a conversation that you're gonna want to have with your higher self. If you do angels, guides, whatever you want to call it. Okay? But the highest part of you would need to assist you in making this decision. This is not a decision that needs to come from the external. This ultimate decision needs to be something that comes from the inside. So the locus of control needs to turn inward so that you can get the best suitable answer for your journey. Okay? So we won't be able to tell you what to do, but we can guide you how to find an answer, which is you, Kitty Witty, beautiful soul, going within. And this is where your answer will lie for you to get the best decision.
Right. And, when it comes to relationships, and, a lot of us are waking up to the truth of what this world really is. And when we wake up to the truth of what this world really is, a lot of people, especially in the beginning, myself included, want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
And when most people wake up and they understand the twin flame dynamic, they want to throw out the logical side of relationships with everything else. Okay? So in this case, I'm saying that to say, is that when it comes to relationships, one of the things to definitely keep in mind is, especially the video that we did a few nights ago, which was centered around the topic of the need of being chosen. Okay? Sometimes we can have the need of being chosen, that we would do things that can be detrimental or messy. Okay? And so in saying that, because once again, we don't know the full story, and you're saying that your twin flame wants you, but is your twin flame available to choose you? Is that twin flame with somebody else? Is this twin flame displaying any of the signs and symptoms of trauma? Because once again, you don't want to put yourself into a situation where somebody's giving you the advice, you walking down the street and there's an open manhole, and you texting on your phone and somebody telling you, hey, there's a manhole right in front of you, look up. and they're giving you the advice about not walking into this manhole, but until you put that phone down and you look up and you actually pay attention to the information that's being given out as far as putting yourself into the best situation as possible so that you can flourish, so that you can really live in pure bliss with somebody, which also understanding that it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but just keep those things in mind, because at the end of the day, we can't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
We cannot tell you what to do. We can give you some practical advice that you can apply easily, naturally, and automatically, but it's still up to you to do those things.
Yes, but I will definitely turn inward to get that answer. Don't look for it from anybody outside of you.
No.
Okay?
No. All right, and let's just see.
Donna's in the house.
What's up, Donna?
We got Scentbird Love in the house. Oh.
Scentbird, all right. So let's go. Okay. Never been in. Oh, Bethany said you haven't been in a relationship and trying to not fall victim to number 2.
Wow,
yeah, please.
That's pretty interesting. You never, but that is good actually.
Because you are not a loser, Bethany. You are a winner.
That is pretty
cool.
cool.
Understand that.
That is cool. Right. You've had a lot of time with self. That's beautiful.
You know what, D?
Wow.
We definitely got to touch on. I wish we could bring this up, y'all. This is a comment that D put out probably early on in the chat, but we're just gonna touch on this real quickly, okay? D said that 90% of the people she dated was 90% of people I dated were from abuse. And I used to think it was me that was the problem and couldn't understand why they left. It took me a long time to realize that.
Wow.
You know what, D? My baby helped me out with something the other day. Because, we have our different side hustles and things that we do. We got to keep the lights on, stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm a pretty techie guy, right? And tech stuff comes pretty easily to me. And if it's not that easy, I can find a YouTube video or find some type of blog and figure out how to do something.
Yes, he does.
But my baby pointed out that, baby, everybody not like you. And she made this awesome analogy. She asked me, like, when you graduated high school, how many of those people out of your class would you consider to be smart? I'm pretty sure if y'all think back at your graduating class, out of X amount of people, how many of them would you actually consider smart?
I mean, like, got all A's, right? Never really failing anything. Just hitting it all the time.
And thinking about it, like I had a class of, I want to say, maybe around 500 people. And out of that 500 people, I can only think about 10 that were really smart.
Yeah.
So what that means is that the rest of the class, they're just out there, non-smart human beings. Yes, I'm calling out my class of 2002. There are only 10 people out of that class that were pretty smart. The rest of them were pretty average and below average. I'm just being real.
Well, they were just not living up to their full potential.
Hopefully they changed by now.
I mean, people change, but for the time, they were just not living up to their full potential.
Right. And so with that being said, it comes to the realization that, you may think that you're the problem, but when you look at it, you're actually not. You're just one of those anomalies that didn't fall prey to the meat grinder, which is society. Because one of the two things that happens, especially the light workers, either they're abused or they go through public school system.
But that would be both.
Oh yeah, sometimes they get both. God damn.
Because the public school system, the way
That's
that it is
tough.
right now, that's some form of, hey. Look at it, right? That's why I took my babies out.
Yep.
Not gonna be abusing my kids.
No. All right. So yeah, I think that was pretty much. You see any other questions in there, babe?
Oh, Bethany got something good here. Bethany said, "I'm always worried about the other's reaction when I express my feelings."
That's where you get that unfuckwittable pill.
The unfuckwittable. Listen, we did a really good webinar today, and so I think that webinar would really do good for you, Bethany. Bethany, you're Royal Twin Flame, right? I think you are.
I can't remember.
But if not, go ahead to our website and become a Royal Twin Flame. We just did a webinar today about Who Am I? That's the name of the webinar. Who am I? Yes. Okay. Now, once you have that independent thought form, knowledge of self, that thing with expressing your feelings, it goes out the window.
You go say whatever the hell you want to say, and don't care who feel any type of way about it.
Yeah, it goes out the window. Once you really realize and you're grounded, you come into the realization of who you are, and you're grounded in who you are. Those things, they really don't bother you anymore.
Yeah, because for example, there's a YouTuber called Rashid. And Rashid, he's some people may consider him a little ruly. Most of the time, he's on his YouTube channel with no shirt. And somebody had made a comment that because at the time he was eating, and somebody made the comment like, "Man, you need to stop smacking and just talk. Stop smacking and start talking." And he was like, "Man, forget you. I'm hungry. I'm up here talking for 2 hours. My throat dry. You ain't got no compassion for my throat box." And he was like, "It doesn't matter if I had 2 people on this live or if I had 2 million people on this live. I smack when I eat. So if I smack when I eat when I'm not on camera, I'm going to smack when I eat when I'm on camera. So I'm not going to change who I am just because of who you are."
Yeah, he's like, just deal with it.
So you got to understand, if somebody doesn't accept you for who you are, fuck them.
Yeah. Oh, D got a good question here. Do y'all think it's possible for 2 people to heal from trauma while being in a relationship? Hell yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Hell to the yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Listen, if both of you know you got issues,
there you go.
That's it. It just takes an acknowledgement and a willingness to work through. You see, the problem comes in when people try to act like nothing wrong with them.
Like, I'm good.
I'm good. You're the problem. But if you both realize that you both need to heal, you can actually help each other through your healing process. But the acknowledgement has to be there.
Right.
The maturity has to be there. Right? And a certain level of emotional intelligence has to be there also.
Yes.
Okay? Now, let's say I have issues with, what kind of issues do you want to say I have, baby? Abandonment, right?
Yeah, abandonment. Yeah,
I have abandonment issues. Let me just use myself as an example, right? And my baby got throat chakra problems.
Yep.
He's just...
These are true. We had these issues.
So my baby got the throat chakra going on. I had the throat chakra.
It was blocked.
And I have the abandonment issues going on. So, you know, to really heal and to truly heal, you know, what that would look like is an individual either doing one or two things. You know, either going to therapy, agreeing, hey, we're going to see some people that study the mind and they're really familiar with the mind, and maybe they can kind of help us, right?
Right.
Or what you can do is, if you're like really nerdy, like we're kind of like nerds, you can, and we're living in the age of information.
Yep.
So this is stuff that you can find on your own. You can go ahead and you can look up the signs and symptoms of the type of trauma that you've uncovered, both of you, right? And so you can know what your triggers are. You can know how these signs and these symptoms, how they morph. Because this is a tricky thing. These mofos, they morph. Okay? This is where we get tricked. Because when you talk about being abandoned, okay, as a child, it shows up differently in your life, right? So you have to know that when I'm feeling like my partner is ignoring me, right? This is just one of the signs. This is one of the symptoms of me being abandoned or going through abandonment issues as a child. So you have to know what these symptoms look like, and you have to know how they morph so that when they do come up, you'll be able to integrate them actively. And then your partner can remind you, like, hey, babe, hey. And then you can be like, you know what, you're right. But it takes that communication and that acknowledgement, and you guys have to both know what that shit looks like. Okay? But it can definitely work, and you could definitely help each other out if you have a certain level of emotional intelligence, acknowledgement, and the willingness to do it together. Okay? That's it. It's definitely possible. What we got going on in the chat?
All right. Donna, that's an interesting question. But yeah, Crystal, it is the acknowledgement and willingness to work together. Yes. But Donna, this question here, this second one that you put in, I'm going to need you to help me out with that as well. But the first question today is that I'm not interested in finding love because I know my twin is...
my twin flame is on the picture.
It's on the picture. If it comes... I would love it, and if he does not, okay. But this second question is about just making friends and getting a healthy network. Prior to this whole situation and this lot that y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what? We actually had to be grateful for this whole situation about how everything went down, because prior to this big C, okay, we speaking in code. Y'all know what we talking about. Don't try to act like, what's the big C? You talking about cancer? No, we're not talking about cancer.
No.
Okay,
no.
But prior to the big C, so many people were putting on fronts and pretending to be something that they weren't. Okay.
Speak to that.
And we could have gone out and had built other relationships up and things of that nature, and we could have been fooled. Could have been fooled big time. But because we are post Big C, a lot of people are showing their true colors. And to be quite honest, some of these people you don't want to have a relationship with, because a lot of them are really showing how much they are traumatically
not quite healed yet.
They're not healed, okay? And yes, you can be acquaintance with somebody, but really letting somebody into your circle, that's once again like letting a dirty pig come in your house and you just mop the floor and they got all the mud on them.
Yeah, you sanitized and you did all that stuff. Then here they go.
Right.
Now, Donna got another beautiful question. Donna, you got some bomb questions today.
Okay.
She said, Leisha, my question is that since I started loving myself, I see myself being a bit selfish. We don't use those words.
That's self-full.
Donna, the word that we use is self-full.
Get it right.
Okay. Repeat after me, everybody. Self-full. So when we are taking care of ourselves, when we are loving on ourselves, we are filling ourselves with ourselves. So it's self-full.
Yeah, let that cup run over.
Let that cup run over, because what is in the cup, Donna, that's yours. Okay? The overflow.
It's for everybody else.
It's for everybody else, because you need what's in the cup.
Yep.
Okay?
There you go.
And she said, I don't like ladies to come at my home and share my perfume or makeup. What was wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nobody don't use my stuff.
Who the hell using my cologne?
Listen, that's like, listen, your makeup is something that is, that's a sanitary issue, first of all.
Facts.
It's kind of like sharing underwear. You know, you won't share your underwear. So why would you share your makeup? No, that's your stuff. So if you could tell them, hey, I got my makeup from such and such. You know, here is the website, or here is the whatever. go get yourself some. Just like I got myself some, you can get yourself some too.
Or if it's a really good friend, and you got it, you can buy them some. They ain't got to use yours.
Yeah, there you go. Or if you have the extra and whatnot, and you can afford to get it for them, yeah. But no, your makeup is something you shouldn't share. That's going on your skin, right? And your skin is, this is where you really pull toxins in, is through your skin. So you don't want to, no, baby girl, that is, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're doing it right. So I don't know if this makes sense, but how do I express my feelings truthfully without trying to be, what does that say? This right here.
My glasses in. I'm trying to be cute tonight, y'all. Hold on.
Let me see this. Hold on. Excuse me, y'all. We gotta get a little close.
Okay, see.
Okay. So I don't know if this makes sense, but how do I express my feelings without trying to be truthfully, without trying to be the mediator at the same time? Because I feel like I have to always be fair, but it stops my truth. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's two different things.
Yeah, that's two different things, because when it comes to speaking the truth, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. This is something we tell the kids. If you can answer yes to these 3 questions, always say whatever the hell is on your mind. For one, is it true? Okay. If it's true, and you can say yes, move on to the second question. Are you saying it out of love? Okay. If you're saying it out of love and you can say yes, move on to the third question. The third question is it necessary? Okay. Because it can be truthful and it can be said out of love, but sometimes it may not be necessary.
True.
Okay. But if you determine that it is necessary for you to say, then whatever you have to say it. Okay. And don't worry about being the mediator or anything of that nature. That's, mediators are there to help people kind of not get so much caught in their feelings.
Right, and really understand what the other person is saying. That's the mediator's job, is to kind of explain the communication so, what is said is received as said, not how you feel. That's what the mediator's job is to help clear communication.
Yes.
So as long as you're communicating in truth and using those 3 examples that my baby said, you should be fine, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to block your throat chakra.
Right.
Okay? Through being inauthentic. That's something that you don't definitely not want to do. You don't want to block any of your energy points.
No.
So say, what you need to say. Okay?
Yep.
I see a really good question up in here too. Divinely.
Real quick before we move forward, we definitely want to make sure that hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, because this is like right now we're pouring a lot into y'all, so we want to get something back. Just keeping it real. So one of the ways that you can give back is subscribing to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely giving that thumbs up, and then also turning on the notification bell just so you don't miss any of our videos when we do go live. Now this is one of the ways that you can give this energy for free. It doesn't cost you anything. You just click a button, sign up, things of that nature. Now, if you really like what we're doing and what we're saying and things of that nature, there's a link in the chat where you can actually send a donation directly to us. And when you click on that link, it actually takes you to a whole nother screen where you still see the video.
That's right.
And you're able to give a donation. Whatever amount is fine. It doesn't matter. It's just, it helps out in keeping the lights on. Okay, so just putting that out there. So if you like what we're doing, donate or subscribe to the channel, or actually become a royal starseed on our YouTube channel. Okay, awesome. Well, what's going on?
All right, so Divinely Intuitive 777 got a great question. She said, how about when your twin flame is a narcissist? We actually did a video.
Yeah, we did a whole video about that one.
We did a video about the relationship with a narcissist. It was a very, very good video. But if your twin flame is a narcissist, it just means that he's unhealed. He's definitely unhealed. He has not or she has not done their work at all. If they're a narcissist, because then you'll know that narcissists, they're emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
Period.
Now, just digging a little bit here. Awesome. You got somebody. We appreciate you for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you. Just to dig a little bit deeper here into this question, because this is what would be considered like almost a surface question. But awesome. Thank y'all for subscribing. That is awesome. Sweet. Okay. Gosh, where did that question go? I just missed it. The question that you were reading.
Oh, from let me see. The narcissist?
Yeah, okay, about the narcissist. Okay. But once again, just kind of digging into this, because it seems like a question that has another question that's behind it that you didn't ask. And so with that being said, you know, some people say, well, we've said it as well, is that your twin flame is you. And so now you're asking, like, are you a narcissist as well? Okay. Now, you have to understand, now, this is where the shadow work comes in. Because I know to a certain level, I'm an asshole. I can love you and be super sweet to you and things of that nature, but I do have the ability to be an asshole.
Yes, he does.
Oh, why you gonna be so hard?
You do.
Okay.
My baby got a side to him you do not want to see. He will ignore your ass.
Okay. So you have to ask yourself, what part of you is a narcissist?
This is true, and it's just keeping it real.
I mean, it's just keeping it real. I'm just, once again, that question just screamed out that there's another question that's underneath it that's not being asked. And so because I have the ability to pick up on that, I'm going to answer it.
Right. And also Meg said something really good too. She said you have to set boundaries. Like this is the number one thing when you're dealing with a narcissist. You have to set boundaries, because narcissists, number one, they're emotionally unavailable, and number two, they do not respect boundaries. So if you don't have any, it's a field day. They're gonna have a freaking field day.
Yeah, they're gonna have fun.
So you need to have boundaries, okay, with the narcissist, and you need to make sure that you are holding them accountable to your boundaries.
Right.
You can't slip up when you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? Now that's if you want to deal with them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
the next thing is to just not deal with them.
Right.
But sometimes you're not able to avoid them, okay?
Yeah. Because just understand, if you're dealing with a true narcissist, just stay away, because you're playing with fire. Okay, you're playing with fire, and you may end up getting burned. You may cook some stuff, you may make some bomb ass meals, but pretty soon you're gonna burn yourself.
Yes, and don't fall victim in saying I'm going to change them.
Please don't do that.
Listen here, listen to me right now. Okay, when it comes to narcissists, you cannot change them. I'm gonna say this again. You are not able to change a narcissist. Do you hear me? Okay, this change is something that they have to do.
It's internal. You cannot do it.
Don't be putting on no cape, talking about no super save or nothing. Okay, a narcissist is someone that has to come into their own revolution. They have to come into their own inner knowing that they need to do something about what they're doing, because they never admit to anything that they do.
Right.
That everybody else is a problem, but not them.
Yeah. Because here's the other thing to keep in mind, because there actually is scientific fact that some people are just wired differently.
They are. They set up, up here is like connected different.
Let's just be real, okay? So, if you know that somebody is displaying certain traits, I mean, just keep it real. If somebody is displaying certain traits that you don't like, and they are not willing to change, and they're not showing that they are changing, then that's not somebody you need to be around, because you're going to end up getting yourself hurt.
Yeah, this is true. We got some questions coming in here, some really good ones too. I think I'm missing them because the comments is going a little fast.
Okay, facts. So yeah,
Family of Stars. Welcome, Family of
they
Stars.
often mirror us. What we may not like about them is often what we are. Exactly. Yes, Bethany, that is true.
Thank you, Bethany.
They are mirroring us, and sometimes they show us things about ourselves that we don't want to see.
And that we need to work on.
Yeah, and it is our job to change it. Facts.
We got Family of Stars is putting in some question up here.
Where's the Family of Stars?
Right up there to the top, the second one. Yep.
It says, my husband, who I thought was my twin, told me that
they were the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. He told everyone I was going to try to kill him either this year, which was completely false. Okay, so
Family of Stars.
That's sound, mental illness, guys.
There you go. Say
I want y'all to not take mental illness lightly, because mental illness is a thing. Okay, it is true. So we just have to learn to recognize these red flags when we are dealing with someone that is exhibiting signs of mental illness. And so when we know this, we can't take these people seriously. Okay, sometimes we just have to know when to throw in the towel.
Yep.
All right, and in that case, that's a situation where you throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And hey, sometimes you just have to, you really do have to exit stage left. Okay.
Yeah, because there are certain times, like we had this one particular client who we were working with, where they couldn't differentiate between what was real and what was dream.
It was mixed up.
Okay, so there's some people out there that get these things mixed up, and so just understand that if it's above your pay grade, leave it alone. Okay,
so let's see here. Sana, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so she says, I don't know if this makes sense, but how do I express my feelings truthfully without trying to be... Okay, we did that one already. Okay, sorry about that. It looks like it was a new one. There's another one here that I wanted to read. Where did it go? Okay, here it goes. This is from Donna. She said, Alicia, how do we deal with people who are not authentic and cannot say what they really feel or think when they are communicating with you? Let me just avoid. Okay, well,
intuition.
Use your intuition. I mean, we really truly cannot dictate or control another person. We can only control ourselves.
Right.
Okay, and if somebody is not, think about it this way, right? If somebody is not keeping it real with you, it just means they're not keeping it real with themselves.
There you go.
Okay? Because before you have to lie to someone, right, you have to first lie to yourself. So if someone has no respect for themselves, if someone is lying to themselves, who are you? Okay? This is what my mom told me when I was growing up. She was like, Leisha, if this is what they're doing to themselves, who are you? So in that case, you just have to know that, that's a personal problem. That has nothing to do with you. How someone treats you says everything about who they are. And at that point in time, you just have to just walk away. They still got stuff they need to handle. So yeah, we can only control ourselves, Donna. What else we got in the comments?
I think we covered that.
I think that's it. Did we cover all of the questions?
Looks like we made it to the end. Yep.
All right. I think we made it to the end, guys. Did we miss anything? Okay. She said, how did y'all deal with opinions from others and not allow others' opinion to cloud your intuition and negatively impact your bond with your twin? Oh, that's a very, very, very good question.
It's a simple one, too.
For us, it's simple, but for everybody else, it's not simple. So it's a two-part question. How did y'all deal with opinions from others? So, real easy. Baby, you want to take this one?
Yeah.
Got it.
How do we deal with opinions about others? this is where our unfuckwitableness kicked in.
Bam.
We didn't give two shits about what anybody said. Just keeping it real.
Oh,
we did not care about anybody's opinion because at the end of the day, I'm with Leisha.
Right, and listen, opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one.
Yep.
Okay? And when you start understanding perception, when you study perception, the psyche behind perception, that goes far out the window. People's opinion goes so far out the window, it's just unconceivable at that point.
Yes.
When you understand what smeared perception is like.
Right.
All right? So we don't even worry about that.
And then the second part is about how it didn't affect our bond. Now, this is where you really set yourself up for success. Is that you let each other know that you got their back no matter what.
Exactly. Even though you might be outside, they might do something crazy, or the other one might do something crazy. You cuss like hell, oh hell to the nah. But then when you go back in the house, you know you was wrong. You know you should have did that.
Like, I don't know why you went off on that.
Like,
man.
why you did that?
You didn't need that.
Right. But when you outside, hey, Bonnie and Clyde, I got you, you got me. You do your correction in private, with love.
Right.
Okay, that's how we do that right there.
Yeah.
All right, we don't let nobody come in between us. This love is real.
Don't worry if maybe their negative was right.
Well, again, that's what we're saying. When you out in public, when you out around, you don't never let nobody get in the middle of your relationship, because they can get in there and they can be like a cancer and they can just tear it apart.
Yeah, like for example, like even earlier when we were talking about there were certain things that we do that the other person doesn't like, and we understand about public and private. There are some people who will really put that whole dirt out. They'll tell you everything that their partner is doing wrong and everything their partner is doing right. Yeah. But that creates an Achilles heel for somebody to come in and say, "Oh, I see how they don't treat you right like that. I'll come in and I'll do all of that for you. I'll come in and I'll make sure all of that is done."
Don't do that. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell you something that I've learned along my journey in this life. Okay. Yeah. Don't cut it out of this. Don't let anybody into your relationship. I'm telling you, you can do it if you want to. Okay. Don't let anybody in your relationship. When I say anybody, I mean best friends. Okay. Moms, dads, uncles, aunts, kids, cousins, I don't care who the guy is. Don't let anybody in your relationships, especially if you have a sacred relationship, especially if you have a loving relationship. Don't let anybody come into your relationship. If you and your husband, okay, you or your wife, if you guys are having some type of disagreement, some type of discourse, or whatever you're having, settle it together. Okay?
Not on social media.
Not on social media. Together in private. If it's frustrating and it's overwhelming and you have to and you need to, get a mediator, or not like a professional, like a therapist, or somebody that you see, somebody that you trust. Okay, where they're not going to be telling your business all over the place. Right. And somebody, a complete stranger who doesn't even know you. Okay? The reason why I say this is because this is what destroys a lot of marriages. Putting people in between your relationship destroys it. Okay? Because they already have their smeared perception of what something should look like. Okay? And then what they're going to do, try to force that on you. And then what you're going to do, go to your spouse and try to force that on your spouse. And this is where the festa begins. When you have too many cooks. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many cooks in the kitchen messes up the meal. Okay? Don't be going over telling your best friend, girl, you know what he did. Let me tell you what he did now. I can't stand his ass. You know what? Oh, that's what he did. Oh, he low down.
And please don't act like
Don't
y'all are
do that.
holier than thou and
Don't do
you
that.
don't do it.
Don't do
Because I went and took my mom out to eat a few weeks ago. And I promise you, I'm sitting here and I'm watching these two young ladies sitting there bashing some dude talking about he did this and he did that, and the girlfriend over there talking about like he did what? No. Like in my mind, I'm seeing her going back behind and going to her man and all of this stuff. Like, no. Keep your stuff private. Don't let nobody know what's going on in your relationship.
Keep that relationship like a virgin.
Like even when y'all are not together.
Right.
Like even for example, like even the stuff in our previous relationships, like there are things that we know about each other's relationship that y'all are never going to know about.
Right.
Okay? No matter how we may feel about our exes, whether it's good or bad, there's just certain things we're not going to put out there because it's called respect.
Right.
Okay? So let's carry this on moving forward. That whatever relationship we're in, unless it's an abusive one where you're like physically getting beaten and things of that nature, you need to go get help. Go tell somebody.
Yes.
But if y'all are just having disagreements and you just don't like their little idiosyncrasies, that's not something for you to go and run and tell the town to.
Don't just keep it between the two of you.
Okay.
Grow together, learn together, heal together. Okay, don't let nobody in your circle.
Right.
Most people let me tell you something, why you shouldn't do it. I'm going to give you the why behind it, because sometimes people like the whys. Why? Okay, because most people, I'm not going to say most, some people are very miserable. Okay? Some people are very, very unhappy. All right? Even the people that you might think might love you. Okay?
Yes.
There are some people who are really, really unhappy with their life. And if they can get somebody to join them in their misery, they will do it. Even if it's at the cost of your unhappiness.
Yep.
And sometimes this is done on a subconscious level. This is not even something that they probably would consciously set out to do. Okay? But because, your the vibration attracts that vibration, right? So you're miserable. You're looking for somebody to vibe with.
Yep.
So you do anything to get someone on your level so that you can vibe with the misery. Again, it could be on an unconscious level. It might not be something that they consciously set out to do. But because that's where they're vibing at, that's what the actions, it's the fruits. You know the tree by its fruits. All right? So that's why you don't let anybody into your relationship.
Right.
Unless you're needing assistance, then you go to a professional.
Right.
All right? Somebody who don't really know you, who can't pass judgment, biased judgment and stuff like that, who's really trying to see what the root issue is so that we can figure this out.
Yes.
So that's why, guys. That's why.
All right. Well, hopefully this information has been helpful for you all, especially in building some good relationships. Yeah. Now, if you need some extra help as far as really navigating this whole relationship thing and really just getting down to the core of who you are, we definitely strongly suggest that you book a session with us.
Absolutely.
So that we can really sit down and dissect some stuff with you one-on-one. Because that way we can really get a better sense of who you are and then provide you with some practical steps that'll be really easy for you to go through and apply to your life so that you can live in your fullness potential. Okay? So definitely we would recommend that. The next thing that we would recommend, especially if you want to be around more positive-minded people, is becoming a Royal Twin Flame on our website. Okay? Because right now the app for the website is growing. We got quite a few people on there. We finally getting some interaction. Yes, just so happy about that.
It's growing.
We're growing that up, and in that community, the people who are coming in are really some genuine people that are really seeking truth, and they're looking to really build good relationships. So definitely go onto the website, become a Royal Twin Flame on the site, so that you can join in with other members and also get exclusive access to like behind the scene webinars. Because for the webinar we just did today, some people got some real behind the scenes stuff.
I know. It's pretty cool.
All right. And so without further ado, once again, we hope this information was helpful for you.
Yes, guys.
If it was, definitely give us that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Yes. And then make sure you turn on that notification bell so that you can receive the notification every time that we go live.
Absolutely. Okay? And again, if you guys want to help to support this channel so that we can continue to bring this content, you can just exit out of the chat and then you can select. We have 3 tiers on YouTube that you can select from. One is just a supporter. The other one is a Twin Flame supporter. The other one is a Royal Starseed. Or you can go all the way big and you can just head to the website at twinflamesunite.com and you can become a Royal Twin Flame. There you will have access to all of the webinars that we do. They're very insightful. We go very deep, you know, because we can't say a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Especially when we did before this live.
Right. So we kind of reserve a lot of that deep transformational information on the website with the webinars that we do.
All right.
So go over there and become a member. Get some merchandise. We got some nice shirts.
Yes.
Really, really cool shirts. And it's one of a kind because we created it. All right. And we are about to have our book, guys. The book is about to be out. A moth is also a butterfly.
You got to read the thing before we head out.
See, this is the old version. This is what the old one looks like. But the new one, my baby, revamped that. Boy, I tell you, it is going to be so beautiful. Now, I'm going to read you one of my poems from A Moth is Also a Butterfly before we let you guys go, okay? This one is called Cause and Effect, okay? So it goes a little something like this. And yes, it's written by yours truly, 100% unique, all right? So it says you can find a space between a situation and your reaction. That space is what causes your effect. Pay attention to the law of cause and effect. Nothing stays at rest. Everything is a ripple effect. And the mirror of your action. Pause and observe your thoughts. This is where balance can dance. Pick your steps to your beat, so simple mistakes you won't repeat. Stay in your heart space and listen to its rhythm, because this is a principle that wouldn't speak. Ah, shit. Look at nature. She is impeccable. There is no misconception, and she streams in every direction. Her sun gives us sight. Her trees gives us life. Her patterns gives us cycles and seasons. So many reasons to use that space wisely. Before you react, think about one fact. Will this energy in motion build me up or break me down? You can always find a space between a situation and your reaction. That space is what brings life to your character and demeanor. Be wise in your own eyes, right? Because life can come at you like a surprise. Y'all like that? Y'all like that?
There you go.
All right now. That's called Cause and Effect, y'all. That's in my book, Moth is Also a Butterfly. A lot of inspirational poems. That should be ready pretty soon. We're almost done revamping the book.
Yep.
And if you would like to get a copy, just let us know. Drop it in the comments. Shoot us an email. That's another way that you can support. And that's just book number 1 being revamped. We have another book coming out.
Yeah, actually, this is going to be the second one that we're going to have out, because right now we got one on there already.
True.
And so, yeah, we got a book on the Google Play Store's bestseller right now. So it's definitely doing better than we anticipated. Yes. So we got a lot going on, but we love y'all.
We love you guys.
And we're going to see y'all again very soon. Make sure you got that notification bell on. And we love y'all.
We love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.